Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hi, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today we're discussing Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 3, which is Episode 3 because the premiere is actually Episodes 1 and 2. It's called Past Prologue. Sort of basic plot outline. A Bajoran ex-terrorist guy called Tanalos escapes from the Cardassians, tries to get political asylum on board Deep Space Nine, and then secretly tries to acquire a bomb to blow up the wormhole. Very, very naughty. So, what did you think?
I liked this episode a lot. It was a really good episode for Kira. It starts off looking bad for her. She goes over Sisko's head. She's naive about Tana's true intentions. But then, by the end of it, you see that she's a conflicted person, like a real person. And so it was a revealing episode for Kira.
It brought up interesting sort of ideas about what she has done or may have done in the past.
Yeah, that's not something I really thought about before in the premiere. And so that was interesting that they hinted at that a bit. What did you think of the episode?
Yeah, I liked it. It was exciting. A good second episode. It's definitely a Kira episode. I noticed that you didn't point out she has brand new hair. Well,
yeah,
it's a brand new haircut, I should say.
Way different, yeah.
The hair is probably the same hair.
That's a good bet.
I don't know how fast Bajoran hair grows. Maybe it's just every day. At the end of the day, they have to shave it off. And the next day...
What a nuisance.
I know, it would be a real pain.
I can see why... Well, if it grew that quickly, you'd think she would just let it grow longer and not try to keep a stylish short do.
Well, maybe she has to take breaks every 2 hours to sort of attack her head with a razor.
Well, don't jobs have to account for smoking breaks, so she would have to have her Bajoran head shaving breaks?
I don't know if there's any smokers on board Deep Space Nine. How would that work? Because nowadays you have to go outside to smoke. There's no inside smoking areas.
Yeah, they just eject you and go on to...
just...
No, they just push you out into a place that has an atmosphere without checking it, like they did in the premiere.
All right. I need to take the runabout down to Pedro. I'm just really jonesing for my nicotine. I'll be back in 3 days.
You gotta feed that habit.
I think what they were actually going for with the hair, it was the actress Nana Visitor, who plays Major Kira, didn't like the premiere episodes, her haircut, because it was too sort of stylish, and she felt she would be more the kind of character who would just get up and maybe like run a brush through it or something, but not really care.
That makes a lot of sense, given what we've seen of her character.
Yeah, I can't really imagine her in a sort of fancy hairdresser.
Dax, I could imagine having a fancier hairdo, as she just kind of sits there in this episode, so she would have time to do stuff.
Well, she may surprise you yet.
Bashir comes off as a total idiot in this one.
Yep, he's still on his moron scripting. Oh, but we have skipped over someone interesting. Plain Simple Garrick.
I like that guy. I hope we see more of him. He had... The way the actor played him was curious, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. But he's a character, all right.
He's a little bit kind of camp or something, a little bit overly friendly.
Yeah, which I was enjoying.
It makes a very good... he, personally, that character, adds a lot of depth to the Cardassians, because all the other ones are kind of just angry. And then suddenly he's this sort of, not quite slimy, but slightly sort of insidious, but very friendly guy what you see on the surface is not really what's really there.
Yeah, I guess that contrast to the other Cardassians is what really appealed to me. I saw, oh, okay, these guys aren't all just one note.
Yes, they're all that apart from Garrick, who actually has depth, which is not much better. They actually weren't too stupid either, the Cardassians. In this episode, they acted fairly rationally. I mean, aside from Garrick, the one that keeps pestering them.
Well, they set a pretty low bar in the premiere.
That is true.
Bashir in the beginning is so unsure and awkward, and I understand that he's interacting with a supposed spy, and he expresses that, but he's so over the top of, oh, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, it's like he has graduated Starfleet Academy, and he said he could, in the premiere, he said he could get the choice of any job. So he chose Deep Space Nine, but then as soon as like some slightly dodgy guy talks to him, he's like, "Oh no, Captain Commander Sisko, I'm gonna get spy stabbed."
Yeah, and I love that no one really cares. He says something, and then
he said, "Oh, put a tracking device on me or something."
Yeah, and when he first brings it up, O'Brien completely ignores him. He just goes on with his business. I forgot what the line was, but he doesn't even acknowledge him.
You won't believe who just sat down next to me in the replimat.
Major, upper pylon 3 will be shut down for maintenance for 48 hours.
Yeah, you get this real sense that everyone is just tired of his nonsense.
He's only been there for like 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, which makes it even funnier. Oh, this guy again.
Oh, they said that in the premiere. They said, or was it in this one? Where's that doctor of yours? No, it was in the premiere. I think they don't even refer to him by name. He's already an outcast. He's only been there for 2 weeks. That's terrible. Poor Bashir. Hopefully the writers will take pity on him at some point.
And he's trying to be helpful. He's relaying information to Sisko. Sisko's not disturbed at all. So he's not really the boy who called Wolf, because there is something there. So he's the boy who called Cat, because there's something there.
That makes no sense.
Yep, I know.
Plus on Star Trek, it wouldn't be Wolf and Cat. It would be like a Tokalian deer wolf and a swamp cat from Sigmius 17.
Okay, he's the boy who called Swamp Cat.
I still don't understand your metaphor, but that's fine. I've got some criticisms, as usual, I guess.
Let's hear it.
Alright, there's 3 this time. I don't know if they're all accurate, but okay. The first one, Garrick says that Talos, it gets the beryllium or whatever it's called, it's only dangerous if you have an antimatter converter. And that's why he was running from the Cardassians. But his ship got blown up and he got teleported on board, so presumably an antimatter converter is really small enough to fit in your pocket.
I guess.
Otherwise, it would be on the ship and it would have been blown up. Maybe that's not a severe criticism. But then later on, you see him mucking about with it on the runabout, and it's like a big thing on the wall. Where was he hiding that?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's more an actual slight plot error, I guess. My second criticism is that they sent out a runabout with Major Kira and a known, like, psychopath bomber guy to go and build or gain the components of a giant bomb, and they left phasers, armed phasers, in the runabout, which is standard. They're always there, but they're not supposed to be given to random criminals. You think they would take the batteries out?
Yeah, no precautions were made, and that was slightly odd. They just sent her off. This will work out.
Maybe she said, "Oh, can we get rid of the guns? Maybe like the incredibly lethal insta-kill guns."
I'm wondering if
he wouldn't shoot them at you.
I'm wondering if your third criticism is what mine is.
Oh, you should say what yours is, and we'll see.
So, when the Klingons come on board and they don't comply, Odo comes in and then he just repeats what's been said, and then they hand over their guns. And I don't understand why they're intimidated by Odo. Do they know about his T-1000 abilities? Or I don't understand why he projects power. He's just this odd-looking, vaguely old-looking guy.
Probably because he kept his shit together when 2 Klingons got up in his face.
So that was enough?
Well, Klingons are... they're really good at, like, hand-to-hand combat. So if he's not even bothered that 2 of them are telling him what to do, then it could just be a sort of power play.
That's fair. He did come in very confident and collected.
Well, he seemed like he wasn't bothered. Maybe, I think he just asserted dominance on them. Alpha male style. He was going to urinate on them if they didn't comply.
That's what you do.
That was not my third criticism, although that is quite a good point. My third criticism was, right, they get the bomb, they go through the wormhole, and then it gets launched out the ship, and you can see it flying out, and then it explodes. But this is supposedly some sort of massive super nuke sort of thing, right? But
yeah, that confused me.
It only went about 30 meters from the runabout.
Yeah, they mentioned, if this detonates now, you'll wipe out a huge sector or whatever it was.
You'll leave radiation everywhere. You could blow up the whole Deep Space Nine. But apparently, if it flies out of the ship at about the sort of speed you could throw it, and then detonates 5 seconds later, having travelled maybe 20 meters, which is about 60 feet, that's fine.
Well, its power could have been miscalculated.
Well, then the whole episode was silly. I guess another criticism that's just come to me now is that how did that guy know that it would seal up the wormhole when they'd only just discovered it a couple of weeks ago, and they specifically said it's the first ever stable wormhole, so it's not at all understood scientifically. But then again, if he can't work out a bomb, like, proportions, then maybe he's just bad at science.
That's a fair assumption. I think he just wanted to try something, and terrorists like to use bombs, so why not?
Well, if all you have is a hammer, all your problems are nails.
There you go.
I don't know, a lot of nitpicking. I don't think it was a bad episode by any means. These things are relatively minor, I guess.
Yeah, and you completely deflated my criticism.
I didn't mean to.
How dare you?
I liked it. It was good. But Odo totally could have taken 2 Klingons on.
I like how Kira had this sense of obligation to the ideals of her past self. She was thinking about the person who she was, and she wanted to match Tana. But really, her ideals actually evolved, and she's still following what she believed in, just within the confines of the system of politics in place. Whereas Tana, his actions, he was willing to kill a bunch of people. His actions just supported a narrative in his head.
Yeah, Kira is really in a difficult position.
And yet, she's still hurt when he calls her a traitor. It still hurts when your name called, even though that person threatened to blow you up.
Yeah, well, it's just mean. Plus, she's spent her whole life trying to do the best she can for her planet, so it's kind of a severe name call. It's not just being like, oh, you're rubbish. It's like, wow, yeah. Everything you've ever worked for is a sham and a lie.
But it's not true. She's actually doing good.
Yeah, of course it's not true. That guy's plan was to blow up a bit of space with a really dangerous bomb. He's just a bit of a... It seems like he'd be good in an occupation situation where you're trying to blow up your oppressors, but I don't think he was as effective anymore. The political times have changed.
Oh, we need to mention Avery Brooks's improved acting.
Yes, improved is certainly a word for that. He's a lot more natural and human.
Yeah, he's closer to human, appropriately stoic and not so wooden.
Yeah, I think the premiere was... I think during the premiere they all got hired at different times and stuff, so they didn't really know each other and what was going on. So yeah, he's a lot more relatable here, although he's a stoic character. Oh, here's the thing. Kira went to the Admiral and said, "Oh, I think Cisco is making a mess of this." And then the Admiral just told Cisco, and then he told her off. So what exactly is the process if you disagree completely with your commanding officer in Starfleet? Like, if you're in the military and your commanding officer is making a mess of things, there is a way of reporting that, right?
I would hope so.
It seems like in Star Trek they just make fun of you for it.
That whole sequence, it came off to me as a tired parent saying, "Why is this happening? Why are you tattling on your brother? Figure this out yourselves."
Or it's like when a child asks, like, "Dad, can I have an ice cream?" They're like, "No," and then they just walk through and go, "Mom, can I have an ice cream?" Then Mom's like, "Oh, did Dad say you could have an ice cream?"
I thought it was weird that she didn't excuse herself anyway from that situation. She has an obvious bias, but I guess that's her job, to be that liaison.
That's her job title, isn't it? Liaison or something?
Probably.
I think that was part of it. I don't know. So, any final thoughts of the day of wisdom?
The only important thing is not to betray yourself.
Is that a quote from the episode?
Yeah, I cheated again.
Oh, Odo says it to Kira. Odo and Kira are very close friends then.
Yeah, he imparts some nice wisdom in that scene toward the end.
I liked it how he called Commander Cisco. Like, she didn't ask him to, but he looked at her face and just called Commander Cisco and said, "Yep, someone wants to talk to you down here." That was kind of... It makes it seem like they have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, that was a nice little moment.
Alright, I will not betray myself unless I have to, or whatever it was you said.
Good.
Okay.
I'm glad.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I don't know why we're saying goodbye.
I like saying bye. It's
Okay.
good to say bye.
Well, you do that after this ends.
Bye.
Okay, that's enough.